Hello, and welcome to Pipe TV, where we extend the experience of getting to know our featured guest up close and personal.
Welcome to Pipe TV. I'm your host, Azaili, and today we have Miss Wendy Goldsmith here with us. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm pretty good, Miss Wendy. And
Semone Perez.
Miss Perez, thank you, Miss Wendy and Miss Perez, for being with us today.
Thank you.
And I would like for you to tell us a little bit more about your organization. May I ask you the name of your organization?
The organization name is Chidubem, which is spelled Chidubem. The name comes from West Africa, and it means guided by God.
That's a beautiful name.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And how did you find the name?
Well, I was searching for a name for a long period of time, and actually I was at work one day and just started typing in my computer. Didn't have a clue what I was doing, and African names came up. I printed the list, and as soon as I looked down the list, that was the first name that my eyes focused on.
Okay, it was a good choice.
Excellent choice.
So as far as your organization, can you tell me a little bit about what your organization does, its purpose, those types of things?
Well, my organization is a nonprofit organization that raises funds for kids that battle cancer and are homeless. So we basically have fundraising events within the community to raise funds for the kids that's in need.
Okay, so it's for the kids.
Yes.
That's good. Normally when you hear people that are battling cancer, it's more focused on adults, but the fact that you're zoning in on children, I think is definitely a different perspective in terms of, how you're helping the community.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we definitely want to, help the kids, but anybody who needs help,
Right.
we'll definitely lend a hand, whether adults or kids.
Okay.
So we're definitely open.
Okay. And when did you start your organization?
The organization was actually established in July of 2014. But we didn't actually start doing things in the community until maybe 2016.
Okay. Was there a reason why there was a break between the start?
Once you actually establish the company, I knew I wanted the company to be a nonprofit organization. So that took time, and I wanted the company to have a solid foundation. So I didn't want to rush things. So,
Okay.
we
Make
just
sure
took time.
everything
Yes.
was in order. Okay. So Wendy, in terms of specifics with how you came about with your organization, was it the children that inspired you, or was there something more personal that inspired you to start your organization?
Well, I definitely have a soft heart for children, so I knew I wanted children to be, within the scope of the purpose of the company. But by all means, if anyone needs help, whether you're an adult or a child, we'll definitely lend a hand if we're able to. Absolutely.
Okay. And so has cancer touched your life personally?
Yeah, I have a few family members that, passed from cancer. And the reality is, we all know someone who has been affected by cancer. So it's something that, really needs to be addressed, and people need help.
Right. The fact that you're focusing on children initially with your organization is a different aspect to take it, because normally when you hear about cancer, most people think about adults, but cancer does affect children as well. So the fact that you're focusing on that, and that is your initial goal, I think is a good perspective in terms of what you're doing and how you're helping the community.
Thank you.
You're
Thank
welcome. And what are your goals in terms of your organization? What is your long-term, short-term goals? Where do you see yourself going with this? What are your aspirations in terms of your organization?
My goal is to have my company to be a household name. not to be on a celebrity status. It's just to bring more awareness to the public that, hey, there is an organization out there who's ready to put in the work and step to the forefront in order to help those in need. So if my company is a household name, then more people be willing to come in and help. I think there's a lot of people out there who do want to help, but they're not sure, okay, is this money going to be going to the organization they say it's going to go to? Like, what do I do? A lot of people are nervous, but there's a lot of people out there that want to help. So I just want people to know that Chai Dubam Incorporated, if you put in a penny, that penny is going to go to that organization to help those in need. So I definitely would like for the organization as stated to be a household name in order to help more people.
Okay, and Ms. Semone, how do you fit into the organization? Because you're obviously working with her to some degree, which is why you're sitting here. Can you tell us what role you're playing in the organization?
Well, I'm one of the board of directors, and I'm her right-hand person, left-hand person also.
Okay.
And, anything she needs, I'm there with fundraising, advertising, helping with any issue she needs help with, I'm there.
Okay.
And I have to piggyback off of that. Semone has been an absolute blessing. The moment that I met her, I knew her for a while. She's actually a nurse practitioner.
Oh, okay.
So I knew her for a while, and she loves giving and helping people. So I knew that I need to have her on my team. So that's why she's definitely in the position as board of director.
Okay.
And she's holding it down very strong.
Okay, well,
trying my best.
And keeping me straight.
Very good, very good. And then, is there anything else that you would like to tell us about you, your background, what you've done before, any of those type things?
My background. In the early 2000s, I was the head account executive for 20th Century Fox and Fox Searchlight Pictures, movies such as Star Wars, Devil Wears Prada, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I was on the advertising portion of the films. I basically negotiated advertising rates for over 150 newspapers and magazines, and that include the New York Times, Daily News, and the Post. Back then was really big. I am on the dance ministry at a mega church in Queens. It's called the Greater Allen Cathedral.
Okay.
I've been on the dance ministry since 2006. Some of y'all may know it as praise dancers, but technically it's called liturgical dancer. And there, the dance ministry, we host like a worship conference where liturgical dancers come from all around the world. It's every other year. So I was the head of the fundraising committee. So dancers come and they take classes during the day, and at night we have people like Marvin Sapp, Donnie McClurkin. So I was in charge of fundraising to make sure funds was coming in for the participants. I am a plus size model. I started in the 90s, came home one day from school, went to a fashion show. A designer saw me in the audience and said, have you ever modeled? And I was like, no. He says, well, guess what? You're going to start. So he told me to be at a certain place. So back then when Kwanzaa and Black Expo was really big at the Jacob Javits, I was going down the runway traveling with Black Expo and Kwanzaa. Stepped away for a minute. Then I went to 20th Century Fox, and I stayed there for a while. And then in 2013, I came back to modeling, did a few things, been in magazines, TV, runway. And it was time for me to actually walk in my purpose. I think a lot of us search and trying to find what our purpose is, but then I really realized my purpose was to help those in need. It's rewarding to me, so I knew that I had to go for it. I put it to a side just a little just to establish my company and get it off the ground. So here we are to this present date, being interviewed on Pipe TV.
Yes, yes, amazing, amazing. Sound like you touched a lot of different facets of film, music, fashion, just a lot of different things. So you are well versed in doing what you're doing. Because sometimes it's better to be in certain places so you can have a well-rounded view of how to help people. So that's a great thing.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
And Ms. Semone, is there anything else that you would like to share with us today?
Just from the health perspective, we would love to start with our children with eating right. Cut cut down the sugars, eat more fruits and vegetables. Let's exercise at least 3 times a week. Exercise, take a walk with your kids, you know. We want to start from childhood, healthy diet, and, you know, this will cut down on the diseases in the future.
Right. Well, it's been amazing interviewing you, ladies.
Thank you.
And would you like to let the people know where to find you in terms of social media, or do you have a website, those types of things?
Well, absolutely. If you want to find us, we have a website. It's called chidubem.org, CHIDUBEM.org. On Facebook or Instagram, you could search us at Chidubem Inc. Once again, CHIDUBEMINC. We love being here. We love the opportunity. And I must say, on October 20th, because, you know, I have fashion in my background, we did our first event, which is called Walk to Healing Runway Show. It took place October 20th, which is like 2 or 3 weeks ago, maybe a little bit longer. We brought in celebrity designers from the East Coast and the West Coast. We had some fabulous models that just really set the runway on fire. The club loved it, we loved it, and before we could even walk out the door that day, they was asking us about the fashion show for next year, and I'm like, can I have a glass of water? But it was an awesome event. It was the first one up under the company. It will be a yearly event, amongst other things that we have coming up the pipeline. So
Okay, that sounds amazing. And then, so the other thing I would like to ask, if someone is interested in donating, how would they do that? Through the website? Through, do you have Facebook, Instagram? Like, is there a certain way to donate to the organization if someone's interested?
well, actually, they can go to the website, which is chidubem.org. Once again, CHIDUBEM.org. They can give us a call at 646-880-7570. And, you know, we're accessible across the board, so you can definitely find us.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And this concludes our interview with Mrs. Goldsmith and Mrs. Semone
Perez.
I'm your host, Azaili, and thank you for joining us. We'll see you soon. I am Azaili, and you are watching Pipe TV, where Photography Insight Plus magazine comes to life. Welcome to Pipe TV. I'm your host, Azaili, and I have my friend, Miss J.I. She's also a vocalist, performer, and we're here to just let you know a little bit more about Jay. So welcome.
Thank you for having me.
You're
I appreciate
welcome.
it.
I would like to ask you, how did you start with your music career? Like, how did you get into singing?
Well, for me, it started with writing. I'm a writer before anything. So when I was a little girl, I wrote, I filled up composition notebooks. Just writing short stories, writing poetry, writing my last feelings since I was about 5 years old. That was like a form of therapy for me. So it just kind of turned into music. And then, you know, when I'm going to church, I grew up in a church, so singing in the choir, and then I wanted to write the songs that I was singing. That's kind of like how I got started, just as far as that is concerned. But I really started taking it seriously once I became a mother.
Okay.
Had my daughter, and then it was kind of like, in the back of my mind, I don't want to work for corporate America. I know I want to do music. I know my heart beats for this thing. Like, there's something else that I want to do. And I was like, so how can I teach you to chase your dreams if I'm suppressing that? So that's when I was like, no, I'm going to be an independent artist. I'm going to drop music on iTunes. I'm really going to take this seriously. I'm going to, you know, I have a gift, I think. And I think that I have a lot to say that people can learn from, can hear. And the response has been great, so I'm doing something right. But yeah, that's how I got into music.
Okay, and you said you had a daughter. How old is she?
She's 4.
Okay.
Lily, yes.
Right. Does she like to write?
Yes, she does like to write, and she thinks she's going to be a musician just like me. But she also says she's going to be a scientist. So I'm just here to support her. Whatever she wants to do, she's going to do.
Okay.
Wear many hats.
It's a great thing that you were able to be like a living example for her. Like, you know, in terms of having your dreams at the forefront, to where you're not bound by a typical 9 to 5 and taking it seriously, because a lot of times we need to see an example, especially when we're children. So that's a great thing that you did.
Thank you.
I know it probably was scary at first.
It's terrifying. It's really terrifying because it's an unknown territory, especially in where I grew up and where I come from, like in Brownsville and Brooklyn. You don't see a lot of black business owners. You don't see a lot of entrepreneurs. You don't see that. Like our families teach us, go to school, get you a job, work, retire. Then you can have fun. Like that's just how we're all brought up. And I think I kind of went against the grain a little bit,
for sure,
and just tapped into something that no one showed me how to do. So I'm glad I did.
Yeah, I'm glad you did too, because your music is amazing.
Thank you.
How long have you been a performing artist, where you're actually going out, doing shows, that sort of thing?
Okay, so I've been performing for the past 3 years as an independent artist. Like J.I. has been performing for 3 years, but I've been performing my whole life, like singing, plays, production. I've been doing that since forever.
Okay.
But yeah, J.I. was introduced about 3 years ago.
Okay. And what inspires you?
That's a good one. Life, I think. That's the best way I can answer that. I get inspiration from everything. Like I'm big on seizing the moment, taking advantage of every opportunity, and I think that life just inspires me. Like I write based on anything I feel, anything that I feel like you can relate to, that I can show someone a new way or a new path. Like love, yeah. I'm just a liver. Like
okay.
So yeah, I get my inspiration from pretty much everything, the good and the bad of life.
So just anything that can be in existence.
I can eat a cheeseburger and write a whole song just because the cheeseburger tastes good at McDonald's, and then I'm like, ba-da-ba-ba-ba, and then something else. Like I don't know. That's me.
That's funny. I wanted to ask you to, just on a more serious note.
I was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer back March 11th, 2019, this year. And I'm only 27 years old.
Right.
So when I was diagnosed, I was 26 years old. And nothing prepares you for that. There's no book that says life is going to hit you with this thing and here's how you deal with it. And my family, we've had a history of it because my grandmother had breast cancer. She beat it twice. And then my uncle has cancer and my grandfather died from it. So it runs through the family. So that's more terrifying. I'm struggling with it, to be honest. It's every day is hard. But I know that I was put on this earth for a reason. And so I just think that whatever you project is what it'll be. So I just claimed victory. I claimed positivity. I stayed focused. I got through chemo, which is one of the most difficult things ever. I don't even know how people can deal with that. And yeah, it's affecting a lot of people. And I just kind of switched the negative to a positive, I think. I tried to figure out, why is this happening to me and what can I do with it? So now I'm big on everyone check your boobs. Check your boobs. Because had I not been in the shower, just I felt the lump. And early detection is everything. So some people don't know. A lot of people feel a lump and they'll, it's just because my cycle didn't come or something.
Right.
They think it's something else. But you don't know what that is. So I'm big on go to the doctor. I don't care what it is, go to the doctor. So, you feel a lump? Go to the doctor.
Right. So you actually noticed the lump yourself?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I felt it in the shower. And then I showed my husband. And then he was like, oh, babe, it's probably nothing. But let's call grandma and let's, get her opinion. I ran straight to my grandmother's house. She said, no, girl, go to the doctor. Tomorrow I was in the doctor. And then within 2 weeks.
Wow.
That's what it was.
Wow.
Yeah. And that 2-week process is scary. The mammogram and the sonogram and the waiting, and then you're telling yourself, this is not going to happen to me. I'm not going to have breast cancer. No way.
Right.
And then so.
Right.
Whew, yeah, it's rough.
Okay. Well, I'm definitely praying for you. You are my thoughts, my prayers. Just as a lot of your fans and followers are, and your friends, your family.
Unicorn gang.
Yes. So we know that Jay is a performing artist. We're going to take a little break, set up, and let you hear one of her current tracks. Okay?
Awesome.
Stay tuned.
Hi again, it's me, J.I., and I'm going to be performing one of my singles from my album Trixie called Unconditional, and it's just about unconditional love, and it really speaks my message. Hope you enjoy.
Nobody's perfect. Did I give it time to make sense? Was I too cold? Did I not try to see the perfect missing parts of me? Yeah. Did you work hard as you could, to understand what you misunderstood? Gave it 100, all your energy, yeah. Pointing fingers, placing blame, imperfections all the same. I'm the devil, you're the same, trading spaces, sharing pain. Pointing fingers, placing blame, imperfections all the same. I'm the devil, you're the same, trading places, sharing pain. Nobody's perfect, but baby, people are, yeah. And everyone's hurting, but baby, love can heal. Truth is, we gotta get honest. Truth is, we gotta make a promise to really love without condition. To really love without conditions. Did you just hard want me to change? Did I refuse and say I stay the same? But did you only want the best for me? Did I give time to you that you needed? The good days, did I see them? Were the worst parts all I see? Fighting fast and loving slow, slamming doors and no control. Did we ever try to find out the why, or why you and I can never just be? We can never be loved. Nobody's perfect, but baby, people are, yeah. And everyone's hurting, but baby, love can heal. Truth is, we gotta get honest. Truth is, we gotta make a promise to really love without condition. To really love without conditions.
Thank you.
Welcome back to Pipe TV. We just heard an amazing track by J.I. Thank you for sharing, Jay. That was beautiful. Can you tell the audience what inspired that song?
Well, Unconditional is basically inspired by my hope to achieve unconditional love. Like, I feel like based on what I've been through, I started to just view love and life differently, and I wanted to show that when people are hurting the most, there's a lot of beauty there, but you have to be willing to like dig past it. So it's like loving someone flaws and all, and it's like, you know, I have my battle scars now, and you know, like my body's very different now, and you have to have people that will love you past that, you know what I'm saying, when you don't see the perfect in yourself. So that's kind of where Unconditional came from.
This is very true. Very, very wise. Very, very young for very, very wise for a young person.
I try. My grandma raised me well.
Yes, she did. She did. And we have an addition here.
Yes, my awesome husband, my rock.
Hello, husband.
And my business partner. So
Okay, business partner.
Hello.
Is there anything that you would like to add to J.I.?
I mean, I could add a lot. She's an amazing writer. She's an amazing singer, a great mom, and as you can see, she's a tough fighter.
Yes.
And she's still fighting, so
Yes.
the list goes on.
Okay. Well, I'm pretty sure she thanks you for the support and love. And
Yeah, absolutely. He takes all my photos. He's my photographer. My music videos. When you see them, he's behind all of that stuff. So.
Great. I've seen your work. It's really good. And I had a chance to work with the team briefly.
That's right. Yep.
So that's how I got connected to you.
On the runway.
Yeah.
I don't know if y'all know, Azaili on the runway.
Stop.
On the
Okay.
runway.
All right, stop.
That's how she, listen. It's great. Sorry.
Stop. Okay, so I wanted to ask you too, since you've been battling cancer, has your writing changed?
Yes, it most definitely has changed. I feel like I used to write a lot more surface level things. I was always a deep person, but I feel like I was afraid to expose too much of myself. And I think that since my diagnosis, it kind of made me say, like, life is short, and like there's so much I want to say. So now I'm just unafraid to say, well, like, the truth and like the real pain and the real joy and the real, like. So I think people are responding a lot differently to my music now, because you're really on the journey with me. Like everything I'm going through, you're really feeling it now because I'm really putting a lot more of myself into my music.
Right. Do you think that's made you more vulnerable? Are you comfortable doing it? Is it scary, or was it scary?
That's terrifying, especially in this day and age of social media. But I've gotten so much love during this. Like, that's one thing for sure. It's just like I would do chemo and be on live and just taking in that positive energy. So now at this point, whether people like me or hate me, I'm unapologetically sharing my story. So I share it with the world because you just never know. If one person gets inspired, then I've done my job as a human being. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely.
that's kind of where I'm at with that. Just stay tuned, stick around. Much big love to my team. I have an amazing team of people that support me. From Blue, from BGE, and Wes. They consider themselves my business managers. I just call them my team. And my husband, who's my photographer. So it's like we just are a group of people that's ambitious and working extremely hard together to make this big empire that I see come
and
true.
Social media,
Yes.
Party Buzz.
Yes, social media. Follow me on Instagram, JAYI__. Facebook, JI the Purple Unicorn. Yes, and I'm hoping to like write for major artists. That's like a big goal of mine, is just writing music. I don't always want to be the forefront of stuff. I love to write, so I just want to do that. What else can you find me on? YouTube, JI Music. Subscribe there. I just dropped a new music video. It actually shows some of my chemotherapy in my music video. It's a nice reveal of when I was balding.
Right.
It's a nice reveal there. It's a really beautiful moment. As you can see, my hair's going back.
Yes.
So, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. And follow Approved Visuals, which is his photography, videography company. Seriously, we're, support, independent, boom, boom.
All right. Well, thank you so much for sharing who you are, sharing your story, sharing your, your ups and downs, and sharing your battles, sharing your struggle, and sharing, your goals as to where you're going, and just who you are as a person.
Thank you.
Sometimes when you open up and share, it helps someone else.
That's the goal.
And thank you, sir, for supporting her.
Pleasure always.
Right.
Thank you for having me.
Right. Thank you. This is Pipe TV, where photography Insight Plus magazine comes to life. We'll see you soon.